Hi guys, it's late. I have to show you something here that just broke, well, that I just saw. And I am like on the cusp of like headaches. Here. I don't want to make you dizzy, so I'm just gonna. So this guy, this is Everett Stern. He had a press conference today. I think is running for Senate in Pennsylvania. He is claiming, it's very detailed. He's claiming that he was contacted by Flynn and Associates because basically they needed people who were formerly in intelligence because they needed to get information from Pennsylvania's intelligence. He was approached because he used to work in intelligence. I think he served, but like he is known because he was a whistleblower against HBSC in 2015. Here it is. Oh, wait, okay, now I got this piece of paper. Mirror. So he was an HSBC whistleblower, and I think it saved like $5 or $15 billion, whatever he did. So he had this press conference about Mike Flynn and Associates trying to contact him because he was working with Patriot Caucus. Flynn is working with Patriot Caucus that is funded by a billionaire in Texas. The whole plan is to take this election audit everywhere, and he's being funded by a billionaire in Texas. Apparently, Flynn has militias in Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Virginia, who are like ready to go. So his presser was at today. I threw the tarotscope for 10:23 a.m. because that's the time that it came up, and I just said Philadelphia, Pennsylvania because that's what he's from Pennsylvania. Also, he was supposed to have a meeting with Mike Flynn at the Omni Hotel in Dallas, and there they were going to talk more about with Omni with Dallas. They had paramilitary people going on. But he had talked with his counsel and his colleagues, and they're like, don't walk into a room with a three-stripe general because you're not being asked by the government to meet with him. It's not federally authorized. So he just decided to cut ties. He canceled at the last minute. But here's the thing. The reason why they wanted intel from Pennsylvania GOP, because he's running for Senate in GOP, is because they were targeting Representative Fitzpatrick and Senator Toomey, because basically they're trying to extort them to get on board with the whole election audit thing, find ways to force them to cooperate. So this guy Everett Stern goes and tells the Pennsylvania, he reports this, and he told the Pennsylvania GOP, their lawyer calls him. And so he talks with the attorney and tells him to alert Fitzpatrick, but they do not have a duty to warn. They don't have to inform him that he's in danger. And then they found out Fitzpatrick never got notified. Stern says this is going on for about 3 months. And he finally held a press conference today, and he was saying, Mike Flynn is committing treason. We have a major national security thing going on. And he's in talks with the authorities, and this is very serious. So, of course, I threw a tarotscope. It's just so jarring to listen to him speak. I will tell you, I was doing a bunch of Celtic crosses just to get basic information, and they were all lining up with the cards on who's doing what, etc. So that was all corroborating. I did this tarotscope, and This is it. It's messy. I didn't feel like going downstairs to get the printed horoscope. I purposely have my printer in the basement to make sure I go down and visit that part of the house because I don't normally go down there. So I drew this on a whiteboard. And the first thing I noticed, I'm like, I have to get the full moon in Aries. The full moon in Aries in Washington, D.C. is all the red. Because I was noticing patterns. Because that full moon Aries, there were things that did not make sense to me in that chart. Just didn't make sense to me. But once I threw this tarotscope, it lined up. For example, over here, this is the 6th house of public servants. I'm like, why is there grand trine blessings here for 6th house of public servants? Well, because it was a blessing that Everett Stern came forward. The purple is the tarotscope of his press conference today. We have the Yod and the Destiny card right here. I need to back up here. He's a blessing. So this horoscope, messy. Remember, this is the horizon, east and west. On the eastern horizon, the sign that was coming over the east as he was speaking was Sagittarius. In fact, it was 11 Sagittarius. The United States ascendant, the same point, the thing that gives life to the United States and how she meets the world, is 12 degrees Sagittarius. This is 11 degrees Sagittarius. This is conjunct. Oh, no, I'm not going to say it. So we have the U.S. ascendant here, and he is worried about the United States. He feels like we're in jeopardy. So he's warning. In fact, the astrology cards here, we have Neptune sacrifice. He's warning us about this. Capricorn, I use the old administration. This was Donald's treason. And it was like how he would use the resources of the government for himself. So this is the ascendant. The descendant over here, remember, like this is me, my vitality. That's the other person over there. Either they're your partner or they're your hidden enemy. We have 11 degrees Gemini here. If you happen to listen to the 2 videos I did following up on Rachel Maddow's episode with Boomerang that talked about Trump Tower servers pinging Russia, at the end of the 2nd video, I find an IP address out of the blue where it connects from, and I trace that IP address from the domain name to where it goes. But then when I look at it in reverse, like you do things in reverse to figure out, oh, well, if there's like a firewall or if there's like spam content, I'm sorry, I just got distracted by a text. Oh my goodness, I have to, sorry. At that last one, the last website that came up, I looked at the reverse IP address, and that led to China. That final address ultimately led to China, to a university in a city called Changchun. And in Donald's chart, his natal chart, it was 11 degrees Gemini. So this guy's having a press conference warning about what's happening. This is my opposition. Changchun, right there, that asteroid. Furthermore, when I looked at the full moon Aries, the other question mark I had, I was like, why is dark moon Lilith on the ascendant? For the full moon, why is this pain giving us life in DC? Well, when you look at the opposition now this week, dark moon Lilith is exactly conjunct the descendant. If you're going to strike and hurt someone in an attack, the pain is going to be right here on the ascendant. But if Venus was right here and your opposition was going to win a race, they would win because the Venus is most powerful here for gains. This is pain for the opposition. So we've got Chang Chung and Lilith. So the full moon, Aries, also said, who am I? My values go to the second house. That had Leo, I will. I'm going to do this. Well, at his press conference today, he had Leo, I will. And the tarot says, the Four of Wands, the White House. You know what? I'm going to stop here. I'm going to pick it up for a part 2 because this is so intriguing.